Then the Fairy Fury is going to get us the Oxyale, bring the Oxyale back to that submarine. It's going to let us go down to the Sunken Shrine, and then we'll have a dungeon on our hands. Which by the end of, we'll have the Water Crystal, we'll have defeated the Kraken, and we should be high enough level to grab some of that level 7 magic. This whole business with like going and finding the fairy and bringing it back and getting the Oxyale and getting into the submarine. I remember the first time I played this game, it took me a while to figure all that out. Like, the people give you hints in town as to what you gotta do. But like, I don't know, it took me a while. I remember I was looking in the wrong desert for the caravan. Like, you can't see the caravan in the desert. And there's multiple deserts, and they generally just talk about it as the desert. I think one person says the desert west of here, which is like the big clue, right? But, and then once I had the fairy, I wasn't sure what to do with it. And then I didn't know that that was going to give me the Oxyale, so I was looking other places for the Oxyale. But I mean, there's only so many places you can go, so eventually you just kind of figure it out. But I feel like I was definitely really thick-headed about it the first time. It took me longer than it should have. Alright. We went ahead here. Right, there's the fairy. Magic classes are cool. I mean, it depends on the game, too. Like, tactics versus, like, Final Fantasy V versus, like, games where you can change classes versus games where you just have classes. There's a lot of different, like, sort of versions of it. I like summoners. I like casters in general. That's pretty much true of me, too. But I also like ones like ninjas, dragoons, machinists. In Final Fantasy XIV, I have my main character mains as a machinist. I caught the fairy, so I figured she's mine to do with as I please. What's the big deal? So I sold her to the caravan, so what? No biggie. Anyways, if you work your way all the way back here through the woods, you'll find where the fairy goes. Oop, I went the wrong way. Here we go. You're the ones who rescued me from that bottle. I'm sorry about running away, but I was just so scared. I'll get you some Oxyale from the bottom of the spring to make up for it, okay? We obtain the Oxyale. Air will flow out of that water for as long as you have it. Sweet. Alright, time to head for the underwater shrine. What are we doing on time? It's only 10:30, we're doing great. Alright, so we need to head back to Onrock, which is... This one has the submarine, right? Or what? No, yeah, because the other one doesn't. I can't talk to them. Alright. Let's head this way. I'm gonna come down here to land and walk up there. They like making you like land really far away and walk with the airship. Like, we gave you the airship, but we still want you to walk on the world map, basically. Alright. There's a guy up here we can talk to too, isn't there? Yeah. What did he say? 200 years ago, the Shrine of Onrak flourished and brimmed with power of water. I ask for one thing, you please restore the power to this former glory. Yeah. So that's what we're here to do anyways. Sit and talk to him. You have Oxyale! You are the ones we've been waiting for! Please, save the mermaids! So not only is there a dungeon down here, not only is there the Kraken and the Water Crystal, but there is also a, like, mermaid town down there too. Alright, let's get in the barrel. Alright, so just as much as ice helped us in the volcano, and fire helped us in the ice cavern, thunder is going to help us underwater. A lot of enemies down here are weak to thunder. If we could get like a coral sword. Do we have a coral sword? It might be, yeah. A sword effective against aquatic foes. Now, it does less damage and less accuracy, but it hits their weakness. We could get an item that casts thunder. That would be super useful, right? Like, for instance, the gauntlets. And just, oh my god, the freaking... The black belt guy just does so much damage right now. Oh man. If only we had a mini-map, right? New age games spoil you. Like, well, Godly, if you like summoners, you're gonna love the entire Shin Megami Tensei series, because, like, it's all about summoning demons. Shin Megami, in a lot of ways, Megaten is like Pokemon, but with demons. Here's a good example of a place that will benefit from having the gauntlets and knowing that they can actually cast a spell. I could be casting Thundaga all the time too, but I'm just like conserving my MP. A lot of times, like, I fall into this trap in JRPGs where, you know, like you make the game harder on yourself because you're constantly conserving MP when you don't really need to, or you make the game harder on yourself because you have all these great items like elixirs, but you never use elixirs or mega elixirs, right? Because you got to save those for like the end game. Those are like, you know what I mean? Like, you have these like items and spells that are just too good to use, and you end up never using them, which just makes the game harder and kind of makes them pointless because you never use them. But you never know if you're gonna need them, and so you have like this, like, you're paralyzed. But the thing is, if you can make it through all of that without ever having to use them, You can probably make it to the thing later without ever having to use them, and you could have made this thing right now easier. So then you think like that, and then you're like, well, maybe I should just be casting Thundaga, but then like it costs 35 MP, so I can only do it like 9 times and I'd be out. So I'm just not gonna right now. I am gonna move this dang gauntlet up so I can access it faster though. Although, didn't I stock up on like 99 ethers or something? It sounds like something I would do. And if that's the case, why not just spam, right? It clearly is effective. Yeah, I've got 99 ethers. They give back 50 MP. It costs 35 to cast that spell. We probably don't need that spell though. We can use like a weaker one. Let's move these gauntlets up. There's a bunch of different stairs down. I want to check all these rooms before we head down. If we use Thundara, that's only 15. That's what we're actually casting with the gauntlets too. Except when he casts it, he does a lot more than when he uses the gauntlets. Let's do so much damage. You get so much money in this game, you really can just like get 99 of all the different healing items and just have them on hand at all times. And it makes the game so much easier because you don't have to be casting your spells all the time to heal yourself. You can save your spells for other things, like casting Thundara all the time. And just every now and then come in here and go, okay, use some potions. Make sure I'm topped off. Yeah. I think we might have gotten everything from this floor. So there were 2 different sets of stairs down. There's one on the left and one on the right. And then the question is, which one do we want to do? Or I think one of them actually went up and one went down, maybe. Having Thundara and the gauntlets make these little packs of 9 Sahagin so much easier. They're a bit tedious if you don't have that. When you're doing a solo run as a fighter, those fights can drag until you realize, oh wait, I can just use the gauntlets. I feel like that's one of the first big steps in like getting better at this game, is realizing all the different things that the different items can do even when you don't have them equipped. Or not just relying on hitting optimal in your equipment and actually realizing like the elemental and the status effects and stuff. The thing is with Final Fantasy, is, and this one included, is that they're generally so easy you don't have to do any of that. So you can very easily get through the game ignoring all of that, and in a way you make the game harder on yourself because the game is easy, if that makes sense. Like the game is easy so you can get away with it. So you never bother to learn all the different things you could do, so the game ends up being harder because it's easy. Not really hard. That's confusing. Like if the game had been harder, you would have been forced to learn the system better, which would have made it easier. You know what I'm saying? Am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense. Anyways. I went up instead of down. I don't know if up was the right choice or down was the right choice, but we went up. That's the choice we made. I think one way leads to the mermaid town and the other way leads to the crystal, maybe, or something like that. I'm not sure. That's the true answer. I'm just not sure. You're getting good experience in here. Echo says, yeah, that's how SMT works. It's hard until you learn the mechanics. Yeah, that's definitely true. There's a bit of like a mindset change that you have to undergo when you're playing Shin Megami, coming from other games. Like, first you have to learn the whole weakness thing, whether it's the press turn version of it or it's the like Persona version of it. Like the one more versus the press turn, they're similar but different, right? But they're both different than like what you're used to in other games. Like weaknesses matter a lot more in Shin Megami Tensei games, most of them at least. Oh, okay, so we just got some diamond armor, which it's 8 more defense, and we don't really need the ice protection anymore. So yeah. Leather cap's the best we can do on him, huh? So yeah, so first you have to get used to dealing with the differences in like the weakness system and how that works. And I think the other really big one that helps a lot when you're learning Shin Megami is buffs. Like learning how good buffs are in the Shin Megami Tensei games. I mean, you also have to learn all the names of the spells, but that's just kind of like... They're a little bit harder to learn than the Final Fantasy ones, because Final Fantasy, it's, you know, Fire, Fura, Furaga, Furaja, you know, Ice, or Blizzard, Blizzara, Blizzaga, like, they sounds like the English word, right? But then you go into Shin Megami and you got these, you know, very Japanese, Baru, Agi, Fufu, right? But, I mean, that's just, you learn that word as that thing. That's not that big a deal. And they have a pattern to them, which is nice. But, learning how good the buffs are and how beneficial it is to debuff the enemy and buff yourself. Because that's not necessarily always true in a lot of other RPGs. A lot of other RPGs, it's better just to beat the moss down instead of waste time buffing yourself and debuffing them. That's not always true. I mean, like, you'll notice in Final Fantasy 1, when I get to the big boss fights, like the Fiends and Chaos, you'll see me casting all kinds of tempers and stuff on my fighter to make him do a crap ton of damage all at once. So it's not that other games don't have that kind of thing. It's just more that it's more important in Shin Megami Tensei. And also status effects. Like status effects tend to have big impacts on like your ability to crit people and stuff like that, and they are more likely to be effective in Megaton games a lot of times. Like in Final Fantasy, I almost never want to do status effects. Like I have these spells like that I could have gotten, which I probably didn't even pick up. Like hold, it can paralyze someone. Like trying to silence or slow or paralyze or confuse or whatever a boss in a Final Fantasy game, they're probably just going to be immune to it. And it's often not worth your time to waste rounds in the boss fight trying to find out if they're susceptible to a status effect, because most bosses are just immune to almost all of them. Whereas that's not true in Shin Megami, right? Oh, Dragon Quest was great. We beat it. Dragon Quest 1 is done. We'll be starting Dragon Quest 2 next week. I did die on the final boss the first try. We tried to fight him at level 22, and I almost beat him. I swear, we were like 1 or 2 hits away from finishing him off, and he hit me before I could get a heal off. But, we got him on the second try. I like Dragon Quest 1. It's a nice, simple game. But I'm also excited to move on to the more complicated descendants of that game. So I'm looking forward to playing the next ones in the series. Same thing with Final Fantasy here. Like, I like Final Fantasy 1, but I feel like the series gets better as you go, you know? Dragon Quest is already up on YouTube. There's only 2 videos. It only took 2 streams to beat it, but they should both be on YouTube already if you want to catch up on it. If I had more free time, I'd be working more on like breaking the videos up and not just like literally putting the stream up there. Like right now, it's literally like, here's a 3.5-hour video and here's a 4-hour video. That's the 2 streams, you know? If I had more time, I would take the time to like break them up into like 30 minutes maybe, and maybe cut out some of the grinding. Although when it comes to Dragon Quest 1, the grinding is like the entire game, so it's like kind of hard to cut it out, right? But for now, I'm just putting the whole stream up there because that's what I have time to do. I'm mostly putting it up there, you know, as a way for like if someone misses a stream, they can easily catch up on it. I feel like it's easier to do that on YouTube than it is on Twitch. And also, you know, it's another place that someone could discover the stream, right? They could be on YouTube and find the video and then be like, oh cool, I want to come by for the stream. That's cool too. But the main reason I'm putting it up there right now is because I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Not everyone can come every day. So if you miss a stream, I don't want you to feel like, because the games I play are so long, you know, like I play, these are the short ones right now. Like they're like Persona 5 is gonna take like 100 hours. Dragon Quest 7 is gonna take like 100 hours. Like they're going to be like, I'll be playing them for months. And I wouldn't want you to feel like, well, I missed like a 4-hour stream of it. I don't know what's going on anymore. And now he's going to be playing it for the next month. This way, if you want to catch up, you can catch up, you know? You have the option. That's really what it's about. Given options. I think I might have missed a chest. Isn't there another building up here? Maybe I didn't. I don't want to just run in circles all night, so we'll just keep moving forward. Let's fast forward a little bit. I need to make more use of the fast forward button in this game, I think. I'm not gonna, like, this is probably the last one for quite a while that we're gonna be playing on an emulator, so we might as well take advantage of the fast forward button while we have it. Well, mage staff. I don't think you can equip that, right? Yeah. You'll probably use it though. What about her? Yeah. Let's, I think it casts a spell. That's why I'm interested in it. Yeah, it casts Fira. There's another AoE, elemental spell we can cast. Just move these up. How are we doing on MP on him? He's down to 98. Keep moving. So I've been trying to map out a little bit, like all the different games. There's so many games sort of already planned for the stream just by doing these series, right? But there's other games that are going to come up sort of in the meantime, right? Before we finish all these series, there are some games that are going to come out that I'm just going to want to play when they come out. Examples of which are like Tales of Arise. When that comes out, I'm going to play that. So that's going to be on here. Like if Baldur's Gate 3 comes out, I don't know when that comes out, that's going to be on here. They announced a new Paper Mario game. Did you guys hear about that? Paper Mario, like in the Origami King or something like that. I love me some Paper Mario. We're gonna stop and play some Paper Mario at some point. So I'm just trying to sort of plan out when I'm gonna do what. We're on the 5th floor. Ooh, this is the Mermaid Town? My prayers have been answered. I think we might have made it to safety. Ooh, chests. Diamond armlet. If the light of the sea is lost, we will turn into sea foam, vanishing forever. That's not good. The mermaids turn to foam. Huh? One of our friends went to see the world above and hasn't returned. I wonder what she's doing. I hope she's alright. You can breathe underwater? How? That's fair. That's a fair question. Save the sea, restore the light to the water crystal. Lots of items down here. Are those the crystals of the legends? Oh yeah. We're the Warriors of Light. It's all cool. If the light of the sea is not restored, we will vanish as foam on the waves. They're blocking the way. Thank you. 10 gil, man, that was a chest. 10,000 gil. Okay.